Hey there, I'm Charlie and welcome back to Spooky Season. Today we're going to be baking ghost cupcakes. Hey there, future Charlie here. I went to edit this video and realized that for the entire video I kept saying ghost when I meant to say skull. Just to be clear, I am making skull cupcakes in this video, not ghost cupcakes. My apologies. With that said, let's get back to the video. I really like baking and I really like cake decorating, but I don't have a lot of skill or experience at either. So when I found this really simple ghost cupcake tutorial on Pinterest, I knew I wanted to give it a go. First things first, let's get out all of the supplies we're going to need. First of all, I'm going to use a box mix for my cupcakes, partly because I don't know that many cupcake recipes and partly because this is just so much easier and more accessible. So I will be using this Betty Crocker super moist chocolate cupcake mix, which I absolutely love. It also comes with its own frosting and cupcake tray liners. So to finish off this mix, we're going to need some eggs, milk, and butter. Once we make our cupcake mix, of course, we're going to need a cupcake tray to bake it in. We're also going to need some aluminum foil to help change the cupcake shapes to be more skull-like. And I've also grabbed a cookie dough scoop to help us measure out each cupcake. Once the cupcakes are baked and have cooled down, we're going to need some extra frosting to decorate them. This is the Betty Crocker Creamy Deluxe Vanilla Frosting, and it's also the gluten-free option because that was the only one available at the time, and I don't think I'll be able to taste the difference anyway. I also got a piping bag kit with different tips, and of course my Queen writing icing set that I often use. So those are the basic building blocks we're going to be working with today to make our ghost cupcakes. The tutorial made it look very, very simple, which means I think we've got about a 30% chance of actually getting this right. I'm really excited to test these out because they were so cute and looked so yummy. So with that said, I think it's time to start baking. Let's get baking. I've gathered together everything we need to mix up our cupcake mix, so let's jump right into it. Here we have our box mix, and we're going to add in half a cup of milk, 2 extra large eggs, and 60 grams of melted butter. And now we're going to mix it all together with our electric mixer. So I'm just going to put my cupcake mix aside while we prep the cupcake tray. As I mentioned earlier, my cupcake mix does come with these cupcake liners, which we'll be using. So let's start by putting one liner in each slot of the cupcake tray. Now that we've put in all our cupcake liners, it's time to fill the cupcakes. So now we've filled up the cupcake tray, it's time to make these cupcakes a little more ghost shaped. So what I've done is I've cut strips of aluminium foil and rolled it up into these little pellet shapes. And we're going to use 2 per cupcake to push in the cheeks of the skull to help define that shape. And now we're going to do that for all of the cupcakes before we put them in to bake. And now that we've put the foil on every cupcake to turn it into a ghost shape, it's time to pop these in the oven. For a fan-forced oven, they're going in at 160 for 14 minutes. Once they come out of the oven, we are going to let them cool down completely before we ice them. I'll see you when it's time to ice. And now it's time to ice. So I have baked predominantly successfully all of our ghost cupcakes and let them cool down, and now it's time to ice them. So here's an example uniced of the shape that the cupcakes come out. It did actually work, it just didn't work quite as well as I'd hoped. I think I need to work on how much to fill them because obviously we're not using the full circle, they did overflow more. So in the future, I think I'll have to make more cupcakes out of the batch than just this. But now I want to ice it. First things first, I want a thick white coat of frosting all the way across to be the base of our skull. I'm not sure if this will work, but I've been seeing this thing on TikTok where people put a lot of frosting on top and then they press it onto some baking paper so that it gets nice and flat. I have a feeling that this is mostly done with buttercream and I'm just using regular frosting, but we'll see if it works. I have some round pieces of baking paper ready to press onto, and I have loaded our frosting into a piping bag. Wish me luck. I also don't have much experience with piping bags either, so again, please wish me luck. Oh, it's coming out well. That's exciting. Whee! Of course, this is very uneven. The very liquidy frosting. I don't know if that's gonna be a problem, but now I'm gonna press it upside down on one of these and see if it helps like flatten it. Okay, and now can we peel it off? No, we cannot. No, I don't think we can. Unless maybe you're meant to freeze it like that, I'm not sure. But I also brought out a spatula so I could try and smooth it off this way instead. But I will also have to smooth it off the edges to try and maintain that shape. Okay, I'm very anxious and this is very, very liquid, and I think just practically I've added too much. So I'm actually gonna scrape it off on here so that I can try and salvage this a little. It's a lot of frosting. Goodness gracious, what have I done? It is starting to look kind of skull-shaped, but it's not coming out great. I'm gonna try and freehand ice with this leftover frosting, another of them, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I'm gonna leave those two there. But I am really curious about this ice and plop method. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a slightly thinner version and leave it upside down, and then I'm gonna put it in the fridge and see if that actually helps. While that's happening, we're gonna try a different icing method on the rest of them. And now I'm gonna pop this in the fridge. Okay, so now we've got two kind of rough iced versions and one in the fridge. And now I'm gonna try an alternate icing method of actually piping the frosting, and we'll go from there. There is officially icing on all of them. Not one of them looks good. That's fine, that's part of the process. We're all learning. I think that's the best I'm going to do with the white frosting layer, and now I think we need to get into the decorating portion. The first thing I'm going to try and do is to map out the eyes of my ghosts. In the tutorials that I saw of people doing this, they cut them out using the back of one of their piping tips. However, I don't think they're using the same kind of frosting as me, so I'm not sure that's going to work. So instead, I'm going to draw on my eyes using my writing icing pens, and I'll be using the black and red. That actually turned out way better than I thought it would, especially given the state of the rest of the icing. I am going to grab a toothpick so I can help make some of these lines a little bit clearer, but I think that this is going to work. So I've finished icing these 11, and now I think it's time to check on the one we put in the fridge. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not entirely certain what I thought this would do, but this was not it. So I'm just gonna top that up with some icing and then we'll fix this one too. And here we have our finished cupcakes. Overall, I do actually think they turned out pretty well, in appearance at least. We'll find out what they taste like soon, but it's definitely not what the pictures looked like. Having said that, I do think it was a very solid first attempt. I'm gonna grab some close-ups of these so you can see them for yourself, and then I will be back with a taste test. What do you think?
They look great. There's actually a lot of detail in these. They look really good.
Thank you. It was much harder than I thought.
Well, they don't look easy.
Now, which ghost would you like to taste?
I'll take the little one.
You take the little one.
I'll take the little one.
I'm gonna take this dude. He looks pretty dope. You wanna do it on the count of 3?
Ooh, okay.
Harder to peel the wrapping off them because of the shape. It got caught around the mouth. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. That's so much frosting.
That's really good. That's really good frosting. It's good.
I can't tell the difference between gluten-free frosting and not. This is gluten-free. No idea. It's probably a good thing.
Food is
People
food.
who need it.
So this is just going to turn into a mukbang.
Not all of them.
Yeah. You can't see this, but the cat is climbing into the bin. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is way too sweet for me.
I could quite happily eat like 5.
You finish mine?
Yeah, sure.
There's too much frosting. It's so sweet. Dear God.
Not that bad.
I don't That's my phone. I don't know if it would be more or less sweet with buttercream as the other frosting. I think we should buy some buttercream or learn to make it so that we could test this better, because I think that is what the difference was between this and the ones I saw online. I think they were using buttercream frosting, but I think this was a success.
Yes. They're really good.
Would you like to rate them?
Good.
Okay.
And crumbs are good.
Oh my god. Alright, that's all we have for our ghost cupcakes video. I really hope you liked it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more spooky season coming this month. I hope you're having an amazing day and I can't wait to see you all again soon. Bye!